This looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. After I made the video about the electric lighter a few weeks back, the same company, V-Way, asked if I'd like to take a look at one of their other products. The branding on this is kind of odd. Over on Amazon, it's called the Sommon Swift, S-O-M-M-O-N, from Toy Sport. This is not what's actually in the package. There's a bunch of different versions of this. As you can see here on the side, there's a bunch of different colors and styles. The one in this box is actually the green one here, but it's a 1/24th scale crawler RC vehicle. Has a 700 milliamp hour battery. It's 4x4, four-wheel drive, has shocks, and according to Amazon, it's supposed to be able to go 32 miles per hour. It's like 43 kilometers per hour, which for something of this size is ridiculously fast, and I cannot wait to check it out. My experience with RC cars is relatively limited, so we're gonna give this a shot. And there is the car, the truck, buggy, if you will. Pull this out. Gonna have to cut everything to get it out. Second box. There's your transmitter, instruction manual, battery charger. It says it outputs 4.2 volts at 500 milliamps. Little tiny screwdriver, couple of cotter pins and an Allen wrench, the two batteries, 700 milliamp hours each, and a little USB charging cable with a barrel connector on the end, presumably for plugging into this. Now, as far as the transmitter, the controller, you've got the steering wheel here, left and right, forward and reverse on the little control here. On top, you've got extra controls here. You've got steering trim. I don't know what this other one is, steering DR. There's a binding button and power on and off. And actually, this little extra tag has special notes. It says the first time usage has to be frequency bind, for what that means. Means the first time you turn it on, you're gonna have to bind it up. And you're gonna have to have some batteries, looks like 3 AA batteries. Go ahead and get this out. And it is free. But here is the RC buggy. Very bright green color. I'm a big fan of that. It says Sommon Swift on the side. Of course, you do have suspension on it, so the wheels do bounce like this whenever you give pressure. Quality control sticker on the bottom. As I mentioned before, there are cotter pins. There are extras inside of the actual box. It looks like to take the top off, you're gonna have to pull all 4 of these out every time, which is a little bit of a pain, but doable. Just kind of hard to get a grip on them because they're so small. There you go. And the top comes off, and actually it looks like the batteries go in here underneath. But now that we're inside of it, of course you can see there the suspension, all sort of independent. There's your motor in here. I know nothing about these things, but you can see the connections here. I think these are JST connections, and this I can only assume is the receiver, but there's the on-off switch, so you are gonna have to take this off every single time you wanna use it because you're gonna have to flip the switch on and off, so that's a thing. It looks like the front wheels are spread strangely. Maybe there's a way to fix that. Left and right are not in line, so I don't know, we'll try it out. According to Amazon, this should run for about 30 to 40 minutes at a time, and it takes 120 minutes, 2 hours to charge it up, with a total control distance of 50 meters, which is not hugely far away, but something of this size, if you get any farther away than that, you're probably not going to be able to see it anymore. But let me go ahead and get some batteries in the transmitter, some batteries inside the car, and we'll take it out and have some fun with it. All right, that's decently fast. Left, right, left, right. All right, that's really, really fast, but it is proportional, so if you move it just a little bit, it'll go slow, but very controllable, if a little bit fast. I will say, indoor driving, this is going to be really dangerous, so probably better to do outdoors. The funny thing is it's making a noise. I don't know if you can hear that, but as soon as you power this on, it starts making that noise. It's just like a ticking, vibrating, buzzing, and it does it all the time. But still, an awful lot of fun. Yeah, gonna have to take this outside. Actually, let's see how it does on the carpet. Not bad. Not bad at all. And it can even roll itself over. It's got so much power. Yeah, not bad at all. Yeah, I think this thing's gonna be a lot of fun taking it outside. So let's do just that. So it's a little while later, and I've actually pretty thoroughly put this thing through its paces. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks pretty rough at this point. The grand majority of the damage you might see is just on this top shell, and actually there's a bit of a plastic coating on it that just kind of peels away, and underneath it still looks nice. I'm not going to say it looks brand new or anything, but when you peel it away, it definitely is a lot shinier. That was just a protective coating that was on the outside that I never bothered to take off because I kind of figured we were going to be a little rough on it, but actually just peeling that off right now, it looks a lot better. The plastic is definitely scuffed up and scratched up, but what we ended up doing with it, I took this to my in-laws' house, the very first thing. They have a dirt and gravel driveway, and so we just around and around, donuts all over the place. Had an awful lot of fun with this thing. I let my little boy drive it, my 7-year-old. I let my father-in-law drive it. My 7-year-old just would not stop doing donuts with it. He was having so much fun. And then we figured out that the end of the driveway that's right by the house, where the dirt comes up to it, there's a little bit of a hump, a little bit of a lip. And this thing took it like a champ. It absolutely leaped over it, which unfortunately did result in a little bit of damage. But I mean, as you can can see, like I said, I took all that plastic off and the top here is still perfectly fine. And then I took it to the skate park. Twice. I was kind of curious to see what it was going to do there, and driving it around in the skate park, it would absolutely tear up any of the ramps that I put it on. I took this in the half pipe, so I was going up one side, down the other side, so on and so forth. But I did come across a pretty significant issue with it almost immediately. And I don't know exactly if it's a problem with just this one specifically or with the design, but on the bottom here where the wheels connect to the main central chassis, there's a piece here that's actually kind of broken. And it's only broken on the one side, so I think it was just maybe it had a hard hit or something. And so what would happen is this piece would kind of pull away, and then the whole wheel shaft would come out, which means I would have to stop, I would have to take everything apart and put it all back together. It was like a 2-minute fix every time I had to do it, and I had to do it a bunch of times because, like I said, I was kind of rough on this thing. Now that said, as long as yours does not come damaged, or as long as you don't damage it immediately, you can have an awful lot of fun with this little thing. 1/24th scale means it's not huge. 32 kilometers per hour means it goes ridiculously fast for something this size. It's actually too fast for the size. I ended up working with the steering ratio because you can make it turn super fast or not quite so fast. When it turns super fast and you're going super fast, it rolls over every time. So you're going to want to turn that steering ratio back down quite a bit. After doing that, it was so much better, so much easier to drive. I was able to do a lot longer passes at the skate park, going around and around, going up and down the ramps without having to worry about rolling it over every time I turned it around. I showed a little bit of footage about this in my daily vlog over on my second channel if you'd like to check that out. But hopefully you enjoyed some of the footage you got to see of it here. They say the drive time on it is something like 30 to 40 minutes, and then it's like an hour and a half or 2 hours to charge it up. I think that's fairly accurate. I was able to take it out and drive it 2 to 3 times per battery charge, and each time I drove it was about 15-20 minutes, so you're looking 30 to 40 minutes there. And I only ever actually depleted the batteries one time, and that was at the skate park after I'd been driving it for like 30 minutes. So the batteries on this pretty decent. And as far as I know, they should be replaceable. I mean, you should be able to find replacements for these pretty easily. I have not looked. I will say though, probably don't take it off really big jumps, because in and amongst all the little bits of damage I had with the wheel base coming off, the shocks themselves are actually kind of damaged now, so they don't work properly in the front. The back ones are still perfectly fine, but the front, where it was constantly hitting against things and bouncing so hard, they don't quite work properly now. They kind of stick. It is still so much fun to drive, and I cannot recommend it highly enough. $75, you can find this over on Amazon. I will put a link to where you can find it down in the description if you're interested. If you've got a kid in the family, a birthday coming up maybe, this might be worth a look. I'm definitely gonna be letting my 7-year-old drive it around a little bit more, and I'm gonna try to be a little bit more calm with it moving forward. But that's gonna be all for this video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and the footage of the car and everything. Let me know if there's anything that I missed, but I'm not this style of RC reviewer, so I'm just kind of making this up as I go along. Links to where you can find this can be found down in the description. Make sure to leave a thumbs up below if you like the video. Subscribe to receive more, and I will see you again next time.